Namo Phat, good morning. Thank you for joining me for our daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The first mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by the destruction of life, I vow to cultivate compassion and learn ways to protect the lives of people, animals, plants, and minerals. I am determined not to kill, not to let others kill, and not to condone any act of killing in the world, in my thinking, or in my way of life. Our Dharma reading today is Clinging to Solidity by Ajahn Karuna Dhammo. This is from Beginning Our Day by the monastics of Abhayagiri Monastery. Last night, Ajahn Amaro shared some reflections around the theme of transience and its relation to impermanence. After his talk, I was contemplating this theme, especially around the sense of permanence and how we relate permanence to solidity. It's one of the fundamental delusions we carry around with us much of the time, and it forms the basis for a false sense of self, a solid me in this body. The quality of holding on to the perception of permanence is what leads to so much distress and suffering. It's good to get an understanding of how to bring that into conscious awareness as much as possible, not only in meditation, but when moving through the day. When we maintain the sense of apparent permanence or solidity, it appears to be bound up with a fundamental motion of mind, the quality of clinging. In the suttas, the classic approach to having insight into this quality of clinging is by contemplating impermanence. The contemplation can give rise to a sense of dispassion, disenchantment, and can result in the ability to let go and release the clinging. Alternatively, we can notice the sense of holding on to anything and use that as a basis for letting go of the perception of permanence and solidity. We then see how much difficulty it causes when we're involved with work or interaction with people, and there's this sense of holding on. I find it useful to go directly to the mind motion of holding on to something and watch how it reinforces the sense of solidity, permanence, and a false reality. When we cling or hold tightly to some notion or opinion, as a result, everything becomes more concrete, more focused on the subject and object, more about me, more entangled and involved. The views we cling to all tend to play with, feed on, and support each other. We can attack them from different angles, whether it's directly contemplating the transience of a particular situation, or whether we can see the clinging or holding on to something. In that process of recognition, it's possible to realize, I can drop this. I don't need to hold on to this. I can let it go. We might then notice the sense of ease in the mind that comes when we are able to do that. We may also gain insight into the impermanence that appears right there, because if we don't hold on to something, then it just moves on by itself. As quickly as it appears, it passes away, particularly in the realm of feelings, perceptions, and moods. When we don't hold on to these experiences, we see how quickly they change, morph, disappear, reappear, and disappear again. The perception of transience makes the process of going through life much lighter. The burden doesn't have to be so heavy from holding on. So we can practice that throughout the day, taking moments to stop, seeing where there's holding and clinging, and then relaxing and letting go, allowing things to move on in their own natural way. Through this process, we gain insight into the true nature of impermanence. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for joining me this morning.